Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DePietro and Bob Zagami.
Everybody, welcome to RVing in New England.
Hey,
almost live from Elkhart. I'm John DePietro. Bob Zagami has been burning the midnight oil here in New England because the name of the show is RVing in New England. I got the RVing part. Bob's got the in New England part. And before we get into the fun of going out to Elkhart, why don't we have this word from our sponsor?
Yeah, we have a new ad from our sponsor. Right from there.
We want to thank Bob Zagami and NERVDA for inviting us to sponsor their fall into winter dealership sponsor program. And we want to introduce ourselves. This is Brian and the sales team here at Lee's Auto and RV Ranch. We want to welcome all the NERVDA members to come visit us and check out our great operation. We have a tremendous amount of inventory, from small teardrops to Class A motorhomes. And also we want to introduce you to our service department where we do full mechanical repair and body work, floors, paint work, custom paint work on anything from Class A diesel pushers to small motorhomes. We want to invite everybody down to come say hello. We're family owned and operated. We're here to help you and serve.
All right.
Hey, time out.
What?
It said Bob Zagami. Didn't say John DePietro. Am I chopped liver?
Well, they're members of the Bob Zagami fan club, so you'll have to activate your own fan club there. But that's Brian Luganbuehl and his team. Faith is his daughter down at beautiful Lee's Auto and RV Ranch in Ellington, Connecticut. So before we jump into the show, and
let's jump.
If people understood what went into this show, you left on Saturday, you came back 5 minutes ago to your hotel in Syracuse, and it's been a crazy day because in the middle of trying to get ready for this and you driving home, the international news took over, and rightfully so. So we want you to keep thoughts and prayers are with the people and the residents of Florida impacted by Hurricane Ian today and probably for the next day and a half in Florida. And then we'll see where it goes coming up the West Coast. But Fort Myers, I've been watching all day, and Fort Myers and Naples really got hit very hard.
Okay. And the reason you're watching Naples is?
Well, our house is about 30 miles from Naples. We have no damage. We had light rain and light wind.
Why don't we do this?
They put up.
I noticed that Walter Swenson is on. If you can put the link up, maybe Walter can join us live.
Is he on?
Yep, Walter's on. Okay. Put the link up. Walter, join us. And look at who needs CNN? Who needs all those networks? Who needs the Weather Channel when you've got Zagami and DePietro to bring you not only what's going on in Florida, but with our audience members that are direct from Florida. And let's see if Walter Swenson
wants to give us a shot. It's got to be short, Walter. We got 2 hours of material that we're going to squeeze into 1 hour, or we're going to leave out 1 hour's worth of it. We got photos, we got videos, we got John doing.
No, we just want Walter to give us a weather update. Just give us a weather update, Walter. So,
yeah, I'll watch and see if he comes in. So explain people what you did since last Saturday.
Okay. So every year for the last 10 or 12 years, the major manufacturers, and I think Elkhart accounts for over 80% of all the RVs that are manufactured, not just in the U.S., but in the world. They have been inviting their dealers out to Elkhart, Indiana. And what they do is they put out the red carpet. So if you've got Forest River products in your yard, such as the Berkshire, such as the Dynamax, such as so many, or Thor products in your yard, I mean your dealership, the parent company invites you out and has all the new models. I would say that there was over 1,000 models at Thor and 1,000 models at Forest River. And they bring out everything. But not only do they bring out the products, I don't know if, Bob, if you have those slides ready, but they feed us like kings and queens. And one of the areas that Zagami has specialized in consuming over the past several years is going to be right here on this next slide, if you can find it. Now, in New England, we call it fried dough. In the Midwest, they call it elephant ears. So basically, it's a giant fried dough product, bigger than a dinner plate, and it's fried right there in front of you. And they'll either put powdered sugar.
Oh, nope, that's the strawberry shortcake. That's the
or they'll put.
And I did have it, but I don't have it there.
Yep. Well, it's there.
They
fry it up for you. Okay.
No, I may have to go out and find it. Walter was just on and went off, so I'm not sure if he had a technical difficulty or not.
Okay.
With that.
Zagami, let's be clear here. When it comes to elephant ears, I would either order a half of one, or like yesterday, I ordered a baby size. You, on the other hand, order the largest one that can fit in the fryolator, and you get powdered sugar on the elephant ear, and then you get powdered sugar all over your shirt. And then, ladies and gentlemen, this is factual, and I have photographic evidence, but I think it's been destroyed. What Zagami does, there it is, right there. That's the baby size. That was mine yesterday.
We call it fried dough here. They call it elephant ears out in there. Let's get Walter's. Are you there, Walter? Let's get Walter's. Let me pull this one off the screen. Let me bring Walter up, add to the stream. Hello, Walter.
Hi, guys.
Reporting directly from, what is the town?
Davenport.
Walter, give us a Walter Cronkite introduction. Say, hi, everybody. This is Walter Swenson reporting live from the bunker in Davenport, Florida. Go ahead, Walter.
The four corners of Davenport, right off of 27 and 192, near Maria's house, too. So,
right. And you're in the Metro Orlando area.
Yeah, just outside of that. Been fairly quiet most of the day. Power outages here and there, but nothing major. In the last hour, the winds have picked up to probably close to 65.
Gusts of 65, right, Walter?
What's that?
Sustained or gusts?
Gusts of 65, probably sustained about 40. And we're fairly consistent heavy rain now, where it's been off and on all day. So it really hasn't been steady anything, but we're starting to see the lights flicker here in the last hour as well. So, we could lose power. There's probably about 30% of the state is without power right now.
Hey, Walter, you know what would really be good right now for theatrical purposes? If your house got struck by lightning and you were basically injured on air.
So the problem with that is there's a misconception. Most hurricanes don't have much in the way of lightning, except when it's out over the Gulf.
Right, but this is TV, so we're faking it. Okay, we would fake it. Donna would come down and drag you away, and you'd stand out in front where there's no wind at all, but we would make it look like it was windy. And then we could send it to the Weather Channel and say, this is breaking news direct from Davenport, Florida.
Well, you wouldn't want to be in Fort Myers or Naples today. I'm sure you've seen some of the coverage down there.
You don't want to be down there. Unbelievable. A submarine, maybe.
Walter, the way you're sitting with that chair, it looks like you have a turban on. From the
must be his gaming chair. So
it is a gaming chair, and the reason we buy them is gamers sit in their chairs for hours and hours and hours. Gaming chairs are some of the most comfortable chairs, albeit expensive, that you can buy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So what's your forecast for tomorrow? When do you think it's going to hit that way?
The eye is supposed to pass over us as a Category 1 hurricane sometime around 2 a.m. We may see wind gusts of up to 105, but more likely 85-ish in that general vicinity. And then they're saying by 10 or 11, things could start to wind down, just rain showers and stuff the rest of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, then it goes up to Jacksonville. All right. Thank you very much for joining us and giving us a on-the-spot update. And now we'll go tell everybody what DePietro's been doing for the last week. Thanks, Walter.
Easy. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
Walter. Okay. So wait a minute. Wait. You're not getting away with this. We were just getting into something and Walter interrupted us. So then what Zagami would do after eating the elephant ear, have that other slide ready, he would wash it down with a jumbo strawberry sundae. Okay. Jumbo.
Shortcake, strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake sundae. And then we would go in and then have dinner.
Well, it makes perfect sense. You have the elephant ear as the appetizer. You have the strawberry shortcake as kind of the mid-course. And then we go into the hall for the steak and the shrimp and fillets and barbecue and what have you. So it's
tonight's the night of the giant fillets and lobster and shrimp over at Thor. And, they compete. Thor and Forest River are the two big ones. They compete, but all the other smaller places that we went to have local catering. Like we were at Grand Design yesterday, and they have a pizza truck in back with a pizza maker. What's his name? Paul Cataldo, who's from Italy. So next time we go to Elkhart, Bob, we have to go to Antonio's restaurant. They were the nicest people. But there's more to Elkhart than just food. And one of the places, and folks, let me tell you one thing. We're doing this unscripted. I don't know what he's got pictures of, and he doesn't know what I'm going to say next, but that's the beauty of the show. One of the places that we went to on Sunday night was a brand new RV company that they've only had one unit made, and it was there last night or Sunday night when they unveiled it. I don't know, Bob, if you want to cue that video up, but it's called Brinkley, and it's run by 5 people that are alumni of Grand Design.
Let me bring that right up.
Yep. So if those people looked familiar, they were Ron Fenich and Bill Fenich, the people that were the founders of Grand Design before they sold it to Winnebago for $550 million. And their non-compete has run out. So what do you do when your non-compete has run out when you've made $550 million? You do it all over again.
Right.
So they're putting that together. And by the way, during that 5-year period when they sold to Winnebago, they went out and started a pontoon boat company, which became one of the most popular ones in the United States. And Bob, what did they do?
They sold it to Winnebago
for $250 million.
About $250 million, yeah.
But
then they waited, and now they put the stake in the ground. They've got buildings going. That was their first prototype. It is a luxury mid-profile. They decided not to go luxury top-end fifth wheel because this is going to come out probably around $100,000. But
$99,000.
99. Oh, under 100. We should say
under 100.
Yeah,
they wanted to be under 100s. So actually, they changed the price because I asked Ron Fenich, what will it sticker at? And he said about 100,000. And then Bill Fenich, I don't know if you have Bill's. You have Bill's 52-second video there?
No, I didn't load that up.
Okay. He said we want to make it more marketable, so let's drop the price to 99. So they dropped the price to 99.
That's funny. I don't know why I didn't do that one. Go to your breakfast meeting, but before, because I don't want people to think that you just go out there and wine and dine and and that you actually work, and John was actually selected to co-MC the RV Women's Alliance meeting and breakfast. And that was Tuesday morning or Monday morning?
Yeah, that was Tuesday morning.
All right. So this is what John looks like when he's working. But I'm not gonna kill you with 10 minutes of it. It's just about a minute.
But I think there's another thing that Elkhart has a claim to fame for, and that is it's the only city I know in North America where you can get all 4 seasons in one day, like yesterday. So anyway, we're gonna, I'm gonna introduce Lauren, who's a great speaker, a great economist. But if we're going to talk about economics, we have to get our mind geared into listening about facts and figures and knowing about, gross national product and gross domestic product, etc. So let's just do something right now, a little exercise to get your mind going. Pick a number, by the way, don't tell anybody else. Pick a number between 1 and 9, and don't tell anybody else what it is. Okay, got that in your head? If I'm going too fast for you, raise your hand, I'll slow down. Take that number and multiply it by 9. So say it was 35. So now you got a number, right?
So and I don't want to tease you with the ending, but that was sent over by, I think, Jessica Ryder, the managing director, sent that over. So,
she sent that over? Yes. Okay, because I hadn't seen that yet.
No, you haven't.
Yeah. That was the RV Women's Alliance, and they started in 2019. And it was all about allowing women to move up the corporate ladder and network. And they had 150 people at that breakfast. And it was very important that we started off with 3 years ago when Bob and I were there. The featured speaker that day was now deceased Congresswoman Jackie Walorski. So we had a moment of silence for her to start that day. This was yesterday. And today, again, I'm not being political here, but our president was talking about her. Did you see this, Bob?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yep. He was talking about her and all the great work she did, and then said, where's Jackie? Can she come up to the stage? And somebody says, oh, Jackie's not here. Now, she's only been deceased for 4 or 5 months. But yesterday afternoon, I was talking with her soon-to-be probably heir apparent, who was a marvelous person that is a business person coming out of Elkhart. And, one thing about the Midwest is that they hire, I shouldn't say hire, they elect business people to serve in short stints of business at a time. In New England, we hire and vote for officials to serve for life. Now, again, I'm not being political, but I just think everybody who's gonna talk about business should know about business. So, anyway,
I do have an interview that you did with Jessica that talks about the RVWA.
Hey everybody, we are at the RV Women's Alliance breakfast at Open House, and we're here with Jessica Ryder, who is the managing director of RVWA. You've got a smile from ear to ear, and you know what? You pulled it off.
We did, with a lot of help from great volunteers. We pulled it off.
So this event is kind of like a highlight of Open House, because look how much it's grown.
Yes.
And the thing is this, I'm looking at the networking right now, and you and I have to speak louder to go above the chatter. And
yes.
That's really, the determining factor of a successful event.
That is true. Yeah, it's been a great event this morning. We sold out our tickets, and we've had even more people, bring other friends to come to the event. So it's been great networking, great discussions, and a great presentation this morning.
Yeah, and you had some weather issues to deal with that people. It's a tribute to you that people showed up regardless.
Exactly. Rain's supposed to bring good luck, right? So that's That's what we did.
But cold brings other kind of luck.
Yes, it is a little chilly.
So tell us about the organization and how people who are involved working in the industry should learn more about you and join.
Yeah, absolutely. So the RV Women's Alliance was started in 2019 as a way to bring women of the industry together. What we've found since 2019 is that women really want education and networking, help them further their careers. And so RVWA is here to help you do that. We are here to help you get the education, get the networking to help you further your career.
And these roundtables here, which are actively participating, you got some interesting topics. Like right over there's a full table on technician training.
Yes.
Who'd have thunk 10 years ago that would be the case?
Yes. What we found, we did a pilot program this year for an all-female tech class, and we had over 110 applicants. We narrowed it down to 24, half being in the industry, half out, and we learned some great things. So in 2023, we are rolling out a full female tech class with 6 locations around the U.S.
Wow. And over there, you got the economic table based on the content that your speaker brought out. They're actively involved. I mean,
everybody wants to know
cool.
where the money's going and what we're doing.
And as I move, there's several more groups on the other side of the tent. And ironically, the table that says find out more about RVWA, I see 3 men sitting at that table. Get into the point there, you don't have to be a woman.
You don't.
To be a member.
No, we understood, and we've understood this since the very beginning, that it takes both of us to bring the industry together and move it forward. So it takes both men and women to move this industry forward.
So website,
rvwa.org. Brand new site up in the last 30 days. So go check it out and become a member for free.
Have a great day.
That's fantastic.
So what a nice group of people. And, one of the people in attendance was Lisa Reese, who is the president of East
CEO.
to West.
East to West, yeah.
And she grew up in the business. Her dad was the founder of Forest River. So she's, talk about growing up in the business. And we saw many of our friends from RVIA, as well as Mark from Truma, and Chad from Winnebago was there. And it was great. We had 3 or 4 people who I don't even know come up to me and say, "Hey, we love your show, you and the old guy." And I said, "Well, thank you so much." Bob, we haven't recognized our audience yet. We should do that.
I was thinking the same thing. I was going through here saying, "Man, they're gonna leave us before we start." So Plant on Cape Cod, Walter's been on, Dante's evening there, Jim Convoy, evening all. I figured I would get on early before I fall asleep on the couch. Bernie says, how are you doing, Walter? There he goes with his side conversations.
Side conversations.
Who
used to do that?
Walter. My husband.
Michelle Fontaine would do that.
Okay, so Maria's husband is at her home in Davenport.
Yeah.
Hello, Jens from Bernie. Dante. Walter, stay safe, buddy. Jim Roy from Silver Moose is there. Don Hawes, just a little bit late, but we still apologize. Attaboy. Bernie Liverworth. See, Bernie, what the hell's that mean, Bernie? Obviously, Bernie, you're having a side conversation with somebody.
It might have been important back then.
Yeah. Estelle says, good evening, guys. Getting the camper packed for Freiburg Fair. Oh, that's right. The Freiburg Fair is coming up. Yeah.
There's our link.
We got a link. Okay. Maria says, yum. Maybe she's talking about the liverwurst too. All right. Wow. All kinds. So we get mascots in. Bernie, Walter, love the strawberry shortcake from Berry Patch. Absolutely. Good stuff. I have been known to have more than one of them at one time, Walter. John, you have jealousy issues. Must be referring to the Luganville welcome to Bob Zagami.
Yeah, probably.
Walter says they can't go back to building boats for 4 years. Rob Boyer, hey Roy, glad to. Rob, thanks.
I should tell Rob that I was at the Alliance display at the Alliance factory.
And you tell him he's on.
Their growth, Rob.
You can talk to him directly.
Their growth is absolutely amazing, and they had their travel trailer there. They've got a travel trailer now. They were just fifth wheels, but I saw it yesterday. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything about it, but it was there. and they've got a travel trailer now. And you know what? The nicest people at Alliance. You know, everybody came up, and Bill Martin and Coley and Ryan Brady and Ab, and so many of the other people that were there. So, you know,
Hey,
really nice.
Frank's not going to apologize for being late because you'll pick on me for it. We'll pick on you anyway. Michael DePietro, the other DePietro. Hello,
Yeah.
Michael.
He's the
So,
only
yeah.
one who announces that he's here. He can't just watch; he has to announce.
Oh, Bernie has to explain his
What am I?
comment.
Chopped liver? Yeah.
Chopped liver.
Oh, chopped liver. Oh, there it is. That was a liverwurst thing. Okay. Why am I chopped liver?
Absolutely,
Hi, guys.
Bob,
Can't
because
wait to see
Alliance
your
has
show.
a toy hauler travel trailer and traditional travel trailer next summer. I don't think you sent any pictures of that. I don't think we. Hey, Rob, if you got a picture of that, send it over to me, and I'll get it up on the screen because I don't think we have anything on Alliance.
Yeah, I don't recall. I remember seeing the front of it, but I didn't take a picture because they were all staged so close together. But that's where I ran into so many of the famous New England dealers there at the Alliance booth. I ran into Chris Andro from Hemlock Hill. I ran into Jeff Hirsch and Ben Hirsch from Campers Inn. And you know what? They had a large group of national dealers that were there.
Yep. So, Rob,
and you know what? It's still going on.
I just posted the email, and I'll check on that for you. See, I know Chris Andro posted and was very happy with the new paint scheme on the Valor and the toy hauler with the rear deck patio and the side patio. So I think you'll see that in Southington, Connecticut soon here. So
Real soon.
So thank you everyone for that. Let's see here.
What else we got? What else we got pictures of?
Actually, what time is it?
Oh, let's take a break. Let's take our midterm election break.
I'm going to try something. I want to share another ad that they sent, and I tried it before, and I think I can do this without screwing everything up. Boom. Okay.
Is the best time to buy an RV. Do it at Lee's RV in Ellington, where there's no shortage of new and pre-owned units. Lee's has more travel trailers, toy haulers, fifth wheels, mini motorhomes, and ultra lightweight teardrops. Plus, they're all on sale and ready for immediate delivery. Be camping this weekend. Everyone loves Lee's because they are family owned. Deal direct with the owners with no corporate red tape. Lee's Auto and RV Ranch in Ellington. On the web, it's leesautoandrv.com.
How's that?
Great. We had the echo, but it was still good.
You did have an echo?
Yep, double echo.
That's funny. I didn't hear anything here. Let me just show you what they've been busy with as our primary sponsor. Brian and Faith sent these over. This is a new. It's a teardrop trailer from Little Guy with some creative graphics on it. And these are all things that you're going to see at Lee's Auto and RV Ranch real soon. This was amazing. This was from Puma, and it's called Pause. No wood construction whatsoever, obviously for off-road grill and great for boondocking. That's the interior, very kind of like modern looking. And that they had one other one, which I will probably chase down later on, but that's from our sponsor, Lee's Auto and RV Ranch.
They're the nicest people there.
Yeah. There was, I know you stopped off at Grand Design, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't this done?
We are at the Grand Design display. We're with Austin Clark. And Austin, tell us about this. You're pretty excited about it.
Guys, I'm super excited about this. This is our new single axle Imagine trailer. Throughout COVID, it actually spiked the RV industry, so we have a ton of new time, first buyers in the industry right now, and they have a bunch of young families and kids, and there's no other perfect unit to get them out there on the roads, traveling this great country together. For example, this is our new 18BH model, so it's going to have a full down bed in the back right here where the parents can sleep, and then for the kiddos, we have some nice oversized bunk rooms back here.
Oh, those are good size. Those aren't
windows
like
for both
stretchers.
for the kids, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you got your full bath with a shower, toilet, and show us this new sink, Austin.
So this new sink is something that we're introducing across our product line. It gives you so much space when you walk in. Notice how you're not crammed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then when you're ready for the sink, you actually just fold it down. And actually, it's ceramic. It feels like nice quality, not that cheap plastic. This
When you
is
pop it
actually-
up,
and then it drains simply right there.
cool. And it's got ample food preparation stuff, and should be pointed out that when you're a young family and camping for the first time, you're doing a lot of your eating outside. You're cooking outside on a Blackstone grill, or
Exactly.
so you don't need a full
You don't need
kitchen.
a full-size kitchen, and if you notice, you can actually pop the camera out there. You can see that we have that outdoor grill to the right side.
I didn't even notice.
So when you're
that.
cooking outside,
Yeah.
you're actually able to with the family.
Yeah, and you're undercover. You're undercover.
By the awning.
And what will this retail for, roughly?
Well, John, right now the price isn't out there yet to the public, so I can't necessarily disclose that. And honestly, I don't know. Our product manager is still working on it. But I know it's going to be super affordable, one of the most affordable products that we'll have out there on the market. So it's perfect for new families getting into the RV lifestyle.
Okay. Let's just get some exterior shots here as I walk down these are sturdy stairs too, Austin. They're not the rickety stairs.
Sturdy stairs, oversized grab handles too for your hand. We don't want anyone falling and getting hurt.
Okay.
Safety is a huge
There you
concern
go.
of ours.
Imagine AIM. There's your grill, and it's a bumper pull, so you can, again, depending upon the size of the vehicle you have, you may be able to pull it with an SUV. And we want to thank you so much.
Thank you, John, for giving us the time.
Grand Design. Thanks so much.
What does the AIM stand for?
Action in motion.
Oh, that's clever.
Yep.
And I know you stopped by Krupp Industries, which was introducing their new Elder.
If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. You'll never know quite when, well, then again it just depends on how long the time is left for you. I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest rhythm. You can have it all, but now keep moving. I'll take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting this long, eh? Been holding it in for a
What I liked about that, I don't know if people caught it, but the door, this is a park model, new generation, but this is also
front door
name of one of their first park models ever built by Krupp Industries, but that had a residential door. So you have the option of residential door, a 6-foot slider, or a 9-foot slider.
But that residential door is pretty cool because it doesn't take a whole wall like a slider.
Yeah, I agree.
And we were watching the people. In fact, I sent you a picture of Kenny. Do you have it there? Kenny and his crew?
I do.
And Kenny Blow, our sponsor for the first 6 months of the year at
Why
Seacoast.
don't you explain why Kenny is in that picture with his daughter Amanda, who is the general manager up here at Seacoast RV in Saco, Maine?
And he won a number one dealer award. Number one dealer in the country, number one crop dealer in the country. That's Trevor Krupp, who's the great grandson of the founder, and then Kenny and Amanda, and the gentleman on the right, who I don't know.
That's Trevor's father, Don.
Oh, okay. There
Now,
we go.
This is over 10 years straight. The Seacoast RV has been the number one Krupp dealer in the entire country. 10 years straight. So congratulations to Kenny and Amanda on that very interesting and distinctive honor. One more quick elevation. Oh, that's the wrong one. Whoops. I think. Let's see. Maybe not.
demons, wishing they were free like me. We're the fire from the sun. We're the light when the day is done. We are brave, the chosen one. We're the diamonds, diamonds, rising up out the dark. Rising up out the dark. Oh, rising up out the dark. Rising up out the
Very
Now,
interesting.
did you find that elevation one?
That was elevate. The elevation one. No, was that a video?
That was a video.
Oh yeah.
about
Okay,
2 minutes.
So across town is Elevation RV, a new company this year, which is also sold by.
Hey, everybody watching RVing in New England. It's John DePietro. I'm in Elkhart, and we're with a couple of people that are making a bang in New England and want to say hello to everybody up in New England, especially from Seacoast RV.
That's right. My name's Joel Letterman. This is my partner, Brent Kataw. We're the owners of Elevation Park Model Company here. And I just want to say hello to everybody. Thanks to John and Bob for all the work you guys do. To our dealer there in Seacoast, Seacoast RV, Kenny and Amanda Blow, the whole crew there. They've done a fabulous job for us.
You got to make more because everyone that comes to the lot leaves immediately. It doesn't hang around long.
And that's okay. We're all right with that. But yeah, Kenny's got the capacity. He'll take you. We'd love to sell.
And I should say that they had excellent pulled pork, pulled chicken, and mac and cheese.
Oh, okay. So now you're grading everything by the food that they
Right.
did.
And Elevation on Monday had some great pizza. And on Tuesday, they had an excellent breakfast set up. And they make some donuts out there in the Midwest that they don't make here, like these vanilla donuts, which are really cool. Bob, I think you had about 9 or 10 of them last time we were there.
Last time, yeah, about
for
that.
breakfast.
Let's see if
And,
we're abandoning our fans. Let me drop to the bottom and work my way back up. Walt Burns. Sorry, Mr. John here at the expo. Great dealers and RV people everywhere.
Yeah.
Bernie says.
Walter, we still have to bill him for the Do It Now tour, which I haven't billed him yet for.
Bernie says, looking forward to carrying this product.
I think he was referring to the Grand
Ripley?
Design. And Bernie,
Grand Design, yeah.
Grand
Yeah.
Design. They have several, they call them single axle units. And interestingly, Grand Design started with the Momentum, the big toy hauler. And then they've added several other units since then. But what they're doing now is, as Austin Clark said, and we'll talk about Austin in just a second, is that they're aiming now for the first-time RVer. So that's a unit that is going to be value priced. And then when people get the feel for liking RVing, then they'll move up to other units. But that Austin Clark guy, if you remember, Bob, about 5 years ago when he was a freshman in college.
17,000 views on his, when we did the video with him and his father.
Right. Now, we have another video. I haven't sent it there because
Wasn't he just going into college at the time?
He was a freshman. He was interning. And here's how smart this person is. He was interning at Lippert. Okay. And he didn't want anybody to know what his name was, because they said, oh, Clark, Lippert and Grand Design, he's got the job, because he even changed his name tag to his middle name. So he wasn't using the word Clark. He didn't want anybody to know who he was. And if you saw, well, you did see the presentation that he put on. This person is intelligent, and he's going to climb in this industry. Now, I did see his father, and they did do a video together. It was too long for this show, but we're going to do a special segment on them, the father-son combo in the RV business.
A reprise of Clark and Clark.
Right.
Rob Boyle was nice enough to send over a
Yep.
picture, and let me pull it up. And that's the Ballard Travel Trailer Toy Hauler. What a beautiful looking coach. Wow. Now, So you got the rear deck on the back for the toy hauler, travel trailer toy hauler.
Two doors.
Alliance RV. Yep, 2 doors, one into the garage and one up front. And that's going to be in a regular trailer plus a toy hauler, right, Rob?
Yeah, it's already a huge toy hauler.
Yep.
They have like 38 footers on those. And those are big. I've done special segments with that. In fact, we did a video this year with them as well. But you know what? The Alliance people they're so friendly, and they take up, here's one thing about Alliance. The founders of the company will monitor their Facebook page and respond to customers directly. Now, in the RV business, their primary customer is the dealer, but the mutual customer that they have is the RVer themselves. And Bill Martin and both the Bradys, they go out of their way to answer any questions, especially if they're negative comments on their Facebook page. I think it says Alliance Owners Group. Rob, tell me if I'm right on that. Alliance Owners Group.
Yeah. I believe that's what it is. Yeah.
Where else could I go that day?
And Rob is on there all the time because he's the customer service liaison. He communicates with the customers in terms of what they have. And John and I have had the pleasure of emceeing their annual meeting, their annual rally with the customers, and they all stand up at the front and we take questions. They don't ask us to screen.
Alliance RV Group. Okay.
Yep. We take the questions right from the audience, and they handle every one of them, whether it's good or bad. And they've just got a nice way of dealing with their customers, and it shows by the growth of the company. They are out.
Where else did I go, Bob? What else we got?
Let me see what else we got. Well, we have to put together a bunch of slides of the new products, which they will be forthcoming. But let me see what else we have.
We should say, folks, that
here's a motley crew.
Yep. That was at dinner in the Thor exhibit. And that is our friend from left to right, Ben Quiggle, me, Rick Kessler, the executive editor of RV Business, and Travis Pryor, one of the outstanding reporters for that. Yeah. And you know what? With our other show, the Camper Report Show, we have a working relationship with them, and we're so happy to work with them. They're nice guys, regular old guys. See, nobody wears. This is not a suit and tie industry. When I used to work in the radio biz, everybody wore 3-piece suits. These guys, no ties.
Now, you didn't have the very best weather this year, did you?
5 minutes of torrential rain, then 5 minutes of sunshine, 5 minutes of wind, 5 minutes of torrential rain, and repeat that for 3 days. And Rob can tell you that. See, the good part about Alliance is that, Rob, agree with me on this one if you want. Alliance was in their own plant. They were in the actual plant, with a roof and doors, and they had total control over the weather, where the other major manufacturers were over by the Hall of Fame. Although Forest River was 12 miles away from downtown.
Wow. That's strange. So Alliance got the Best Creativity Award because they must have looked at the weather forecast and said, we're not going to stand out here in the rain. We'll just put them all inside the building. And when it rains on the other side of town, when they're at all those outdoor displays, they'll hop in their cars and they'll come over to Alliance because they look at all the units inside and they get to have. Now, how is their food selection, John? I mean, you've been, telling us others.
Whereabouts?
At Alliance.
Alliance had pizza, and then the pizza one day, and then the next day they had a big breakfast. But here's what they did, Bob. Instead of just the coffee that comes out of those things that you squeeze the top, they had a coffee company there giving you what do you call that stuff?
Coffee.
No. All that, the fancy stuff.
Lattes and
espressos and all that, and about 12 different flavors. That's right, Frank. It is all about food. And look at, there wasn't one person, there wasn't one RV dealer that attended that body weight matched their height. Let's just say, let's just put it that way. RV owners, RV dealers, I should say, they like to eat and they like to drink.
Well, now, if anybody knows anything about food, it's Frank Palange.
Yes.
He goes camping, and by the time he gets set up, his stoves, his grill, his pizza oven, his table, his buffet stand, it's longer than his 40-foot gigantic fifth wheel.
Right. In fact, he spends so much time thinking about food that he should learn more about hitching up his RV so it doesn't fall off the hitch when you're driving away.
Who did
we
that?
won't talk about that publicly.
Oh, wow.
We won't talk about that. No, Hawes, they did not have Chef Boyardee.
Well, that's
they had,
good.
look at, when I was at Grand Design, they call it the Italian Stallion pizza. Now, when I was getting the pizza, somebody said, do you have the Italian Stallion? And I said, I'm right here. They looked at me like, what are you talking about, DePietro? But it was thick crust pizza with sausage, hamburger, and 80 pieces of pepperoni on the top and mozzarella cheese. And it was cooked right there. It came right out of the oven.
Was that the Grand Design pizza, or was that the Alliance RV pizza?
No, that was the Grand Design. That was the Grand Design pizza.
You said next time we go, we have, all right,
Hmm?
but you said next time we go, we have to go to an Italian restaurant that was doing the pizza there. Which one was that?
Oh, that was Grand Design.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. They're closed Monday and Tuesday. He wanted me to stay till the next day, but I had to come back here. Frank, I didn't get a chance to see you at Normandy Farms because I ran down back and forth in the same day. I heard you were there, but I'll see you next time. Italian Stallion is a drink we make camping from Fraticello to Bailey's and Kahlua. Italian.
Holy Christmas.
Oh, boy.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
So what else? We saw the new Cougar model that Kevin Horkey showed us over at the Thor display.
Yep. You didn't send any pictures of that.
We did a long video. It's too long. It was like a 9-minute video.
All right, so you get some more videos coming. Well, that's. I mean, this was a good wrap up of the stuff that you saw. Don't forget, you were only there for 2 days, basically.
2.5 days.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do another show just dedicated to all the new products.
There's so much new product, and folks, I will tell you this: the new motorized, the Super Cs out there are unbelievable. Between Dynamax, we had a great talk with our friend
Brian Clemens.
Brian Clemens, and interestingly, the RV that I took on the Do It Now tour was on display.
Oh.
So we had a long talk with that.
Did he have the Do It Now tour signage and sponsors?
No. That sign was on it. But they got it all cleaned up. It's now for sale. In fact, I saw Jeff Hirsch. And he goes, I want to buy that. I saw Jeff Hirsch from Kansas. Yeah. So Bernie, maybe you guys can pick up a Dynamax dealership up in New England and sell that. But then Rev had some unbelievable Super Cs, the Rev group, and also
that came out of Renegade, right?
Yep. And also Tiffin and Newmar both have Super Cs.
Right.
So everybody's getting it. Everybody's putting these together.
Hey, while we still got Rob Boyer on, Rob, when you looked at the display, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you leave Elkhart with a new fifth wheel on the back of your pickup truck? Tell us about that. And what did you feel was the most looked at product? What did the dealers tell you that they liked the most out of the display as you continue to expand the product line at Alliance? So just drop us a note on that. Ralph, did I miss you earlier today, Ralph? You guys can't wait to see your show. Ralph's retired now, one of the long time and best sales reps ever at Flag RV. And
Ralph Provencher, yeah.
This is a guy who knows knew those big motorhomes inside out and backwards. So what else did you see that really caught your eye, John?
Well, I was amazed at the new lineup at Winnebago. They've got, when we were in Hershey, or when I was in, no, it wasn't Hershey. When I was somewhere else, I forget, I saw a national parks. No, you know where it was? It was when we were in Savannah. They have a national parks model Solus product, Class B, national parks model. And now they have the same thing in a Class A. And I did a nice interview with John Millis about the Sunstar national park model.
Class A. Class A.
Yeah, and they have that outdoor thing. But Winnebago has got 3 or 4 new Class Bs out there on the Dodge ProMaster chassis. And then
I got the press release. I got a lot of press releases, but we haven't digested them because they just came in today early. But I know Thor themselves also brought out, I think it was 4 new Class Bs themselves.
Correct.
And I think what's happening is it's not that they're so dramatically different, and this applies to all of them. It's just, whereas if you went back 5 years ago, a lot of the dealers wouldn't be caught with a Class B on their lots. They just didn't believe in it. And now, as the fastest group, they have to fight for it. So they're sticking some more out there with different nameplates on them.
Yeah. So here's something interesting, Bob. I was at the Winnebago booth early on Monday morning. Okay. And while I was there, several of, they'll remain nameless, of the Winnebago product managers that were there were watching a laptop, and on it was the debut of the new Thor product. So you got the Winnebago people watching the competition introduce a new product that Winnebago already had something similar to.
Well, that's right, because they had scheduled, I got the media release on it. They had scheduled 5 different product introductions on Monday, about an hour and a half apart from each one. And they were on their they're on their Facebook page and certainly open to the public. I didn't get a chance to tune in on them, but you're right. They were the
Winnebago people are they had their laptop just like I'm on right now and you're on right now, watching the Thor display. I mean, it was all public knowledge. Nobody was pirating any feeds or anything like that. But the other interesting part about the RV industry, when you've been around it as long as many of us have, is that most of the people working in the industry today have worked for another company, or they worked for another company prior to a merger and acquisition. So everybody knows everybody. They're related. They're married to, people whose husbands or wives work for other companies. It's probably the most uncorporate industry. Wouldn't you agree, Bob?
Yeah.
The most uncorporate industry.
Yep.
That I've ever been to. And you get excited when you come back there because they're really in the fun business. They're not in a vehicle business. They're in the fun business, because everybody who's on this page, that we know. And there's so many, the thing I found out this week is that there's so many other people that watch the show regularly, but don't necessarily chime in like our live studio audience does.
Well, talking about how much fun they have, with the introduction of the Brinkley RV with Bill Fennick and Ron Fennick, I first met Bill and did the first story on him over 20 years ago when he was with Damon and was a general manager of the Damon, and Damon only did motorhomes. And he had a young intern for marketing. His name was Jeremiah Borkowski. Well, Bill went on to other great things in the RV industry, and Jeremiah left the RV industry and went to Bennington Boats,
the competitor.
And then after Bill left Grand Design, he started Barletta Pontoon Boats, which competed directly with Bennington. So this week, Brinkley announced the addition of employee number 43, who's going to be their marketing director, reporting directly to Bill Fennick. And who is it? Jeremiah Borkowski.
You have the picture there?
Huh?
You have the picture I sent?
No, I don't have his picture. No.
Yeah, I sent it to you because I took a picture of.
Oh, that was
you're
right. You did with your Facebook. Yeah, you did there. But he's back in the band and on the show over there. So
he had just given his notice to leave the other company on Friday, and this was Sunday. He didn't even work there.
No, he's started. So once he's on board, we'll get Bill on our other program, the Camper Report Show. But Bill wants to wait for that one. But they're going to do great things. They got a great pedigree. They know how to build companies. So it is a fun industry. It's a competitive industry, but they all feed off each other and have a great time doing it.
Yep. And speaking of that, we're just about out of time. We should play our last sponsor thing and tell people that we'll be back this time next week, same time, same channel. And again, Bob, no show is complete without you and me thanking our live audience for making this show so much fun for us to do. And, I should say that next week, not this Friday, but next Friday, I'll be down at Majors RV for their fall open house.
Oh, okay. You're getting a return engagement. Man,
I'll be there Friday. They'll be spinning the wheel of savings.
Yeah.
Where you can save anywhere from 5 to 40% off any purchases that you make during the weekend.
They must like you. Was this your 50th year in a row, or
something like that?
Been a while.
Well,
sounds good.
Whatever.
All right, so I'm going to do the commercial that they sent us. I think yes, I am, and then we'll come back and close out.
We want to thank Bob Zagami and NERVDA for inviting us to sponsor their fall into winter dealership sponsor program, and we want to introduce ourselves. This is Brian and the sales team here at Lee's Auto and RV Ranch. We want to welcome all the NERVDA members to come visit us and check out our great operation. We have a tremendous amount of inventory from small teardrops to Class A motorhomes. And also we want to introduce you to our service department where we do full mechanical repair and body work, floors, paint work, custom paint work on anything from Class A diesel pushers to small motorhomes. We want to invite everybody down to come say hello. We're family owned and operated. We're here to help you and serve.
All right.
There we go.
There we go. Thank you, everybody. We will see you again next week, and we will close this one out. Stay safe, and let's keep your thoughts and prayers of the people in Florida as they deal with Hurricane Ian today and tomorrow and the next few days.
Which is, by the way, has just been downgraded to a tropical storm.
Has it really?
Breaking news. I just caught that. Been downgraded. The winds are way down. And you know what?
Good.
That's good news.
Good news. Good news to end on. All right. See you next week.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.